A scenario for any future election in Fiji was displayed at the recent Laos Provincial Council meetings, in which the council had freely elected their chairman. But they were ordered and blackmailed a day later by our government officials to change their selection. This was to ensure the dictator's choice for chairman was appointed. So the council had to either conform to the dictator's command or have the government immediately withdraw all assistance and aid to the Laos province. This is another reason why I seriously doubt if elections will be held in 2014. Bainimarama is notorious for not keeping his promises. There is an old saying that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. A hallmark of democracy is a parliament in which the elected representatives of the people regularly meet to debate and pass laws, national budgets, and make decisions on national matters. The Parliament of Fiji was dissolved in 2006 by an illegal decree. There is and has been no parliament in Fiji since then. We all know that men, women and children cannot live by laws alone. They must be able to have a roof over their heads, clothes to wear and food to eat. A strong economy and employment are essential elements by which the citizens of Fiji can meet these needs. In 2006, the year the military coup took place, the economy may not have been at its best, but growth was on the positive side. The truth is that from 2007, the Fiji economy began to go down the drain, and the lives, hopes, aspirations of the people along with it. In 2007, the economy began to slide downwards, not upwards. It dropped by 0.5%. In 2008, it continued its downward slide, this time by 0.1%. In 2009, the drop was the biggest of all, some 3%. For last year, the economy was expected to continue its downward spiral. The public debt of the country, as a result of corruption, fraud and mismanagement, rose to an incredible 74% of the gross domestic product. The truth is that the physical deficit of the country has been partly financed by the Fiji National Provident Fund, FNPF. No wonder the FNPF is facing a serious financial crisis. The government plans to severely and drastically cut the pensions of retirees. Over 10,000 pensioners will be affected. Due to public pressure, discontent and court action, the final decision to implement it has been deferred. Exports, one source from which the country earns foreign exchange, fell in 2009 and 2010, while imports nearly doubled. The sugar industry, the backbone of the economy, which contributes to the well-being of thousands of people, especially our Indian community, is in a state of paralysis. It needs rehabilitation and retooling. The European Union created a US $75 million fund to assist the industry. The matter has been put on hold for over 3 years now, since the illegal regime rejected the conditions set by the European Union for the disbursement of the fund. The conditions were the lifting of the emergency regulations, the scrapping of the media decree and media censorship, the restoration of the rule of law, and the holding of elections within a reasonable time. Like Emperor Nero of the ancient Roman Empire, the illegal regime is fiddling, while Rome, the sugar industry, is burning. We all know that when an economy is on a downward spiral, the people are seriously affected. Employment is one of the fatalities. The truth is that unemployment in Fiji is at its highest level in years, and that unemployment level will rise cruelly when thousands of public servants are retrenched under the illegal regime's plan to downsize the public service of Fiji. And under the proposed vital national industries decree, and the critical industries in financial distress protection decree would abolish all existing unions in Fiji, effectively abolishing any human or civil rights of any person in Fiji. The truth is that another tragedy in Fiji is the growing and expanding the gap between income and prices. While income, salaries and wages have remained at a virtual standstill, the prices of goods, medicines and services have skyrocketed. According to the WOW, was the devaluation of the Fiji dollar by 20%. That had the immediate effect of a steep rise in the price of imports. And the situation was compounded by an increase in import duties on goods and medicines in the 2011 national budget. The ultimate and toxic results of an economy on a downward spiral, coupled with high employment and exorbitant prices, is poverty. The truth is that, according to a Fiji Times news report of April 2010, the level of poverty in Fiji was estimated at some 54% of the population. Inflation rate this year is estimated at 10.3%, indicating a drop in living standards of that same percentage. The truth is that the European Union has withdrawn all financial aid to Fiji. So has the United States and the United Kingdom. And the truth is that, despite such a depressing situation, the annual salaries of the illegal regime leader and his illegal Attorney General are estimated at $700,000 each annually. That amount is more than the pay of the Prime Minister of Australia, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, and even the President of the United States of America. The solution to the endemic problem in Fiji, as I've outlined them to you, is the restoration of democracy in Fiji. But that will only come about with the downfall of the repressive and oppressive illegal regime in Fiji. That is the first step. There is no other way. To accomplish this step, we have been traveling extensively here in Australia and holding meetings with key groups and institutions. We will also travel to New Zealand next week, and from there to South Pacific Island countries and the United States. We will be holding meetings with international organizations that includes the United Nations, the European Union, and even the Amnesty International. The aim is to internationalize the state of decadence in Fiji being generated by the illegal regime, and thereby create and maintain international and local internal pressure on it that will cause it to collapse. Apart from democracy rallies like this one, we have met and held discussions with officials from a number of foreign embassies in Canberra. We have also met with the ACTU in Melbourne, who have voiced their strong concerns about the situation in Fiji. In particular, the rights of workers and freedom of the people. They have written these concerns to the regime, emphasizing that democratic governance, respect for human rights, and the rule of law is the hallmark of developing countries across the world now. We had a most fruitful meeting a few weeks ago with the Prime Minister of Samoa. The Prime Minister, like all the officials we have spoken with, condemned the flagrant abuse of office in Fiji and called for increased sanctions. At the UN Human Rights Council meeting in Geneva on June the 15th, the Australian representative said the deteriorating human rights in Fiji is of concern. At the same meeting, the New Zealand representative called on Fiji to take steps to respect and protect the rights of its citizens. The ambassador-designate of the United States to Fiji, Frankie Reid, said at a confirmation hearing on June 29th that despite the fact that Fiji's economy and tourist industry have been damaged by the coup, Fiji's school leaders have not taken any credible steps to restore democratic institutions. We will be addressing a meeting of the democracy movement in New Zealand next week, and also to meet and talk with government officials, groups and individuals in the Forum Island countries. The pressure is on the regime, and we intend to maintain and increase it. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, the oppressive and disastrous situation in Fiji is not just a matter for one race. All races have been affected. All are suffering. To achieve our desired results, we must all unite and work together towards a common goal. The first step of removing the illegal regime. It is in the interest of all communities to unite, cooperate, collaborate and support the restoration of democracy in Fiji. Ladies and gentlemen, friends of Fiji, supporters of democracy, please lend your support to the democracy movement and our campaign. Add your voices to ours. Write or speak to your members of parliament. Any assistance, whenever you can, for a noble effort to restore human rights, the rule of law, economic and social development, and democracy in Fiji will be highly appreciated by the oppressed peoples of Fiji. Thank you all very much for attending this rally. Long live freedom, liberty and democracy. God bless Fiji, and thumbs up for democracy.